Thus, it is the last part, and of course, as I had mentioned, we want to talk about breastfeeding. It is World Breastfeeding Week, which is commemorated from 1st of August to 7th of August. And joining me in studio is not Esther, but is Rose Wambo, who is a maternal, infant and young child nutrition manager at the Ministry of Health. Good morning, and thank you very much for joining us here on News Center. Maybe we could start by you explaining the significance of this week, the Breastfeeding Week.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me in studio. This year, we are marking the World Breastfeeding Week, and Kenya, like any other state, is celebrating. This week, we advocate for increased advocacy for breastfeeding, so that the mothers can get information on how to breastfeed. We advocate for nutrition so that mothers can get support. We advocate for breastfeeding at all places. We advocate for involvement of everyone, engage everyone who, policy, communities, organizations who can support, who can partner, and including the media, to be able to send information on the benefits of breastfeeding across.
Okay. So there is a commitment globally to eliminate child nutrition. Breastfeeding is central to this commitment. Just kindly explain to us how the two connect.
Let me say breastfeeding is a better option. And breastfeeding offers, protects so many children from getting childhood illnesses, which otherwise could cause malnutrition. And breastfeeding also helps the mother and child bond. Breastfeeding is the best start in life. It is important that a child an infant who has just been born, be put on the breast and attached to the mother, so that they can, first of all, bond, the heartbeat can regularize, and the continuation now from there, for the first 6 months of life, this protects the child from any illnesses. And globally, breastfeeding can protect 823,000 children from malnutrition and other childhood illnesses. You know, malnutrition is one of our biggest problems in Kenya. And once malnutrition sets in, we lose a lot. We are told we lose 6.9% of our GDP to malnutrition contribution. We also have losses in education, because children who are malnourished will not be able to catch up in school, and also be able to get to learn, because their brain's development is affected by the malnutrition. The cells of a malnourished child never develop fully, so they are scanty. Therefore, they cannot. They cannot be able to learn like any other normal child. So when you look at the other areas of development, Kenya is a developing country, and we need a strong workforce. This strong workforce cannot be found unless we have a stronger foundation. And the foundation here is exclusive breastfeeding, with early initiation within the first hour of birth. So breastfeeding, in essence, helps prevent malnutrition, because it is the only sure way of offering food, and the only known food security for babies at that stage. Therefore, with an adequate source of food, that is breast milk, you are sure of eliminating and preventing malnutrition.
Okay. All right, let's talk about the theme, which is, this year's theme is protecting breastfeeding, a shared responsibility. How best can we protect breastfeeding, especially coming at a time the world is ravaged by COVID-19 pandemic?
Thank you. We can protect breastfeeding in several ways. Kenya has enacted a number of laws. One of them is maternity protection, and mothers need to be given at least 3 months of leave, maternity leave. And fathers also get their 2 weeks, that is 14-day paternity leave to take care of the mothers. So that is one of the support. The other part of the support, which is also in law, it is the Health Law 2017, the Articles 71 and 72, which gives leeway for all employers to create breastfeeding facilities, or lactation facilities. This can be in lieu of a room which is well kept, with a fridge, with a good seat, with some materials, and so that a sink, so that a mother may be able to continue lactation post the maternity leave. They express their milk and keep it in that room, either in the fridge, so that when they are going home, they take their milk with them, and the milk is given to the baby when the mother is not at home. That means breastfeeding is continued. There's also the allowing the breastfeeding mother flexi hours, that she can come in a little late because we mind the baby, and then within the office she's also given breaks to be able to express breast milk, and during these hours she will express her milk, keep it safe for home taking, and she will definitely feel fresh, because once the breasts are full, the mothers do not get comfortable. And believe you me, if all employers gave the mothers adequate time to be able to express their milk and took care of them, giving them flexi hours and being considerate, and even setting up areas where a mother can come with her baby and nanny, like the creches, so that she feels supported. It will also help the mother psychologically, and that means she will give most of her time to the organization or company, and that will definitely increase the income of that particular company.
All right, babies are supposed to be breastfed for at least, I think, around 2 years, but this is not necessarily the case. Is it because of work, or there are more issues that are affecting or leading to the fact that babies are not breastfed in 2 years?
Thank you. Yes, we emphasize that infants should be breastfed exclusively for the first 6 months of life without introducing any other thing, even water, because breast milk is adequate in all the nutrients that the child requires in the first 6 months of life. And then introduction of complementary food at the 6 months, which should be appropriate. And then we emphasize and recommend continued breastfeeding up to 2 years and all beyond. This will create bonding. So you are right, years up to 2 years, and but we also and beyond.
Okay, when we talk about friendly environments, because you've talked about the fact that workplaces need to have a room where mothers can go, pump their milk and refrigerate the milk before going back home to give their babies. But let's not forget, not all mothers have access to employers who have these facilities. There are those who need to pump their breast milk, even on the road or as they go. How best can we enhance this environment to be friendly for them in order for them to be able to pump milk in peace?
Thank you. And I agree, yes, most mothers will be able to breastfeed. It is only the difficulties that they face. Either they may not be able to attach the baby on the breast properly or latch, or they will not be able to, they will not be supported, or they are psychologically, like I said, affected, either by family problems, poverty, and also issues at workplace. So these mothers need to be given that time. And remember, it is law in Kenya. And I said the health law, Article 71, 72. Every organization is supposed to have a lactation space or room. When I talk about space, it's because a space can be set aside and where there is privacy, where there is at least some safety. The mother can feel free to express her milk depending on the strength of that particular organization. Then they can go ahead and put up a room that is that can have even a TV. That while a mother is there, she feels it's conducive enough. This environment is not an environment that is wanting. Like we've been having mothers being told they can express their milk in the toilets, which is unethical.
Yeah.
So these are some of the things that actually affect the mothers. The other one is that sometimes you find we may not have adequate staff within our health institutions. And even when we have the staff, breastfeeding is taken as a norm, you know, like it is natural. And mothers may not be given that attention. So it is a call that health workers, wherever they are, in whatever situation, should support the breastfeeding mother so that she's able to continue breastfeeding her child after leaving the hospital towards the community. And the government has done well because they have put in place and trained community volunteers who follow up mothers in their households and ensure that they are continuing to breastfeed, although is also difficult.
Okay. Yeah. All right, in under 2 minutes, I want us to talk about policies. Do you think there are gaps in policies when it comes to embracing and enhancing breastfeeding in mothers? If so, what needs to be done? Briefly, please.
Let me say, I don't think we lack in policy. In fact, Kenya is one of the countries which has very good policies. We have the workplace, breastfeeding at workplace support guidelines. We have the maternal, infant, and young child feeding policy. We have the health policy. We have the community baby-friendly initiative guideline. We have the hospital baby-friendly initiative guideline. So all these are in support of a breastfeeding mother. The issue here is the implementation, because it is at the implementation stage that sometimes, maybe because of fatigue, the policies are not adhered to. So actually our call is to have the policies adhered to and the challenges minimized, especially that part of having no rooms. This is law, and being ignorant of the law is not an excuse. Okay. So actually every institution should have a lactation or breastfeeding space.
All right, thank you very much, Rose Wambo, Maternal, Infant and Young Child Nutrition Manager at the Ministry of Health. Of course, take home is we need to make our environments friendly for mothers who are breastfeeding in order for them to express their milk in a good environment. Well, that's all we had for you here on News Center. Thank you very much for joining us. I am Ashley Mazuri. Have a good day.